No problem.
So okay,
Yeah.
you said as yeah, people when they view you as an asset
Yeah.
and they feel like and you're no longer delivering
Yeah.
with that thing, it can be using.
Yeah, I mean, you know what you're capable of, but then what exactly you begin to think about is like, why should I give you power over this gift? You know what I'm saying? When you begin to see the intentions or the heart of people, that there's no care about you specifically.
Yeah.
You realize that my asset is a powerful gift to you. You know, but you say it's God, but you want to use it. The question is, why should I give it to you specifically? You know, and the idea is always that if it's those people who've got the loudest voices, like, oh, then you're not doing it for God. And that's what I find is very hard and deceptive, is because I didn't want to use my gift for you specifically, or your church specifically, or that thing specifically.
Doesn't mean it's not for God.
Is that now you're saying that I'm not doing it for God, when that has never been. You know what I'm saying? You are not God. God is different. God still always has a plan for me. Now, the thing is, because you can't see my gift outside of your use or what you intend it to be, then therefore it's not of use anymore.
Yeah.
You see? So and these are the thoughts, these are the things that I began to, I guess, discover and know. So when I decided I was done, a friend of mine sends me a video and he says, dude, you need to see this. So I said, oh. And I've already announced it's on radio, everybody's coming to the concert. It's the last concert. And it's Love Revolution. And now it's 2018. So then at that point, I get this message and I see this video, and it says, it's a person in the back of the car, and there's a song playing, one of my songs, and he's asking the guy, hey, you know Abel Chungu? And the guy's like, yes, I know Abel Chungu. I love Abel Chungu. I love Abel Chungu's music. And the song We're on Fire is playing. So he says, dude, do you know where that is? I'm like, nah. He says, that's Iraq. He says, that's a friend of mine in a taxi in Iraq. He's a missionary, and the driver plays your music. They know your music there. He says, don't stop doing what you're doing. So at that point, I was like, okay, God, I'm not going to stop, but I need to figure out something. I need to figure out, like, what is this? Like, what do I need to do? I realized, and then God began to reveal to me that it wasn't that the thing that I was done with music. It was that the assignment for those projects was done. So then he began to reveal to me, like, love, and the reason. So love, it was 10 years. Love Revolution. Remember, I kept emphasizing that Love Revolution came in 2008. The book I picked up by Joyce Meyer.
Yep.
And the revelation from the man who was in Orissa or in the bush and wanted to worship God in spirit and truth. So it took 10 years to arrive at this point. Now, what I didn't specify specifically was that book, what it talked about was this. It said the greatest place that Christians can be is at a point of that influential point where we're the ones who are doing orphanages. We're the ones who are doing, we're painting schools. We're being impactful for our community.
Impacting society.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was not an understanding of they would never know unless they knew God. So the first album, Worship of a Revolutionary, was about their relationship with God, the understanding of God. Oh, this is God. Understand him. So there were no love songs on that album. It was specifically centered on the understanding of God. Then the second album, Love Unleashed, was coming to the point of whereby now that I know God, you know what I'm saying? Who can I pour out and tell others of him? So that is the next step of Love Unleashed, pouring it out. The third album, Love Revolution, was now that you have this group of people. Now let's go and impact. So this album was talking about more of situations and things that people go through on a daily. Those missing parts that we could be, the parts that we could be able to play. But that's why I gave everything to help fight children's cancer. And the money that I was making from there was going to help the orphanage. And
so how are you eating then?
I'll get there.
Okay.
So at this point, I was like, this is what this project is going to be about, it was amazing because there was the year before that. Oh my gosh, I had gone through like the worst financial situation in my life, And it was funny because it was. I'll tell the story after because I'm gonna get some people annoyed because it involves a certain profit. That was that situation. So what ended up happening was it was Love Revolution was now it coming together.
I get it.
So going forward, I said, okay, God, what's the next assignment? So funny enough, I honestly tell you the weirdest thing. So I'm in Dola, and then somebody says, oh, there's Sautisol is going to be headlining at a place in this. I'm like, okay, cool. And then later on, there's a meet and greet. So I didn't go, and a friend of mine calls me up. It's like, dude, you need to come to the meet and greet. I'm like, why? It's like, Sautisol is here. I'm like, yeah. It's like, I don't have a ticket. It's like, no. They know who you are. They asked about you. So I get there, and so they're like, Abel, we know your music and we listen to your music, you and Pompey. I'm like, oh, for real. And so that's when we started bonding. We hung out later that night, and it was just really cool. So we said, okay, let's meet up. If you ever want to do music, let's meet up in Kenya. So I said, okay. So I was doing a concert in Uganda with La Vixen, and it was amazing, man. Like 22,000 people.
Was it under Fat Fest?
No. What's this? Done the replay. That album launch. It was his album launch, specifically his, man. So we've even like we had some Kenyan guys come through. DK came through. Yeah. Moz.
Oh, nice.
Was it Mo?
DJ Mo.
Who's married to size 8?
Yeah, DJ Mo.
DJ Mo, yeah. DJ Mo was also there. Chris was there as well. Chris Arrow, yeah. So we all had a great time. And so from there, I ended up going to Kenya, and my friend TC organized a show at Nyama Mama's.
Yep.
So during that period of time is when I got to record with Sautisol. And we started talking, and they said, listen, like, so they were talking about music, and they were just like, listen, this is the time that you need to start thinking about. So they started just giving me music tips, their passion and this. So I tapped into something that I felt like was a whole different vibe from there, because they were in how they look at Africa and how they want to be impactful everywhere. I realized at some point, I'm like, hey, well, have you been intentional about where you want to be impactful and how you're making your music and whatever? At this point, I said I have been. But during this period of time, like what new sounds? I've not understood much of the sounds of where I'm coming from. Like I want to be able to understand the sounds of the country or of the place where I'm coming from. So I realized that so much of, again, some of the music, some of it, like gospel is the message, but the sound can always, the genre can always change. So there was a time we were doing a program, again, an outreach program. So I met up with the DJ, a producer. His name is KB, and he's a great producer, well known. We'd never worked together, and funny enough, he's a Muslim. And so he invites me to the studio. So I get to the studio. So I start playing these beats, and then he plays this tune. And so at this point, you ask me what made me write the song. So